Hey guys, and welcome to Managerial Organizational Behavior. This is going to be a really short presentation. Um, I do not have access to my textbook at this time. So I will be going through that PowerPoint slide for Chapter 1, and I will be elaborating on those things a little bit, but we'll do that at another time. So anyway, this is going to be really brief. This is our course description. Human problems of adjustment, communication, and performance in various organizational structures will be examined. Topics will include interpersonal group behavior, complex organizational behavior, leadership styles, staffing and the motivation of employees, the contribution of communications, and the integrative role of management in organizations. And I have to say, guys, this is my first time teaching this class, but I love organizational behavior. Okay, so this is our little overview. We're going to examine the concepts of organizational behavior, Chapter 1. So we're going to identify knowledge and skills leading to mastery of this competency by distinguishing between the conventional organizational behavior perspective and the sustainable perspective. We're going to distinguish between technical skills, relational skills, and conceptual skills. Defend diversity from conventional or perspective and the sustainable organizational perspective. And we're going to compare how the four functions of management, which are planning, organizing, leading, and controlling, can be understood from a conventional organizational behavior and sustainable organizational behavior. So anyway, you guys can read that. So I wanted to post up here the due dates. As you can see, discussion 1 is not graded. You guys have already done your introductions, and I'm glad to work with you. Owen, nice to meet you. Your discussion 1-2 is your personality type, which you guys have already done that as well. I actually did that too, and I tested as an ENTP. And the funny thing was, I took the $50 test a few years back, and I tested as an ESTP. So as you can see, your styles will change, and your personality results will change as well. I guess as you get more experience and are more in depth in the workplace. So anyway, so for week 2, we've got the LP1 quiz. There was a question about the quiz. What I would do is each of these learning activities and the competencies, I would just do some studying on all of that because that will probably be on the quiz. Like I said, it's the first time I've taught the class, so I'm not really sure what's on the quiz at this point because I can't get my instructor stuff. But anyway, the LP1 seminar and assessment, that'll be this. This is, I guess, the first part of the seminar. I mean, you can talk about the tips and little things like that, and then once I post the other one, once I get access to the textbook, you can just do a brief summary. I don't want you to spend too much time on these seminar assessments. It just kind of lets me know that you watched it and you know what's expected of you. So anyway, and then your LP1 assignment, which is worth 100 points, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. Okay, so the learning activities, of course, taking the personality test. I got to tell you guys a quick story. I was going to turn over the hiring for our Myrtle Beach office over to my supervisors, because, they have to work with them daily, and they had sat in with enough interviews, I felt like, so they could make a good decision. So anyway, they had picked this lady that was the top candidate, and they tried to argue she had cash handling experience, which, she worked at Bojangles, and that is cash handling experience, but we collect over $500 million a year. So in my eyes, that was not cash handling experience. So anyway, I asked him to bring her into me. And, of course, I'd give her a personality test. And I noticed that she was extremely introverted. So as I was going through her resume, I saw on it that she was doing medical transcription. So I just asked the question. I said, wow, you're going to college. I said, that's great. Your major is medical transcription. Why did you choose that? And she looked at me just as serious as a heart attack. And she said, well, I don't want to deal with the public. I don't want the public in my face all day, every day. And I thought my supervisor's mouths would drop wide open in front of her because the position she was interviewing for was front counter. People in your face all day, every day, and talking on the phone. Needless to say, she didn't get the job. But by this personality test, I was able to recognize an extreme introvert, and then kind of looked down her resume and looked at some of her career choices and, college choices and was able to pull that out. So These things are very helpful, and the more you use them, the more you'll understand. But I use them all the time now. And it wasn't until I got to my doctorate degree that I really could read them really well. And I mean, it takes studying. So, I mean, you guys can do that. And if you are responsible for hiring, I would suggest that you do just that because they are helpful. But anyway, so you guys have already done that. So you need to read Chapter 1 in the organizational behavior. And then you need to review the Chapter 1 PowerPoint presentation. I looked at it briefly, and I'll probably pull some things from that presentation for our next seminar. Okay, and then you want to use the provided list of approved companies for your final paper. I took a look at these things too, and there's some good choices. Pepsi's just recently been in the news for Aquafina actually being tap water. Wells Fargo, excuse me, has also been in the news for setting up bogus accounts. So, I mean, all the companies there should have a wealth of information for you to obtain. So anyway, when you decide which one you want to use, just email me your selection. Watch the YouTube video, The 5 Competitive Forces That Shape Strategy. I have not watched that, but I will. You want to participate in the discussion 1, which you guys have done, and of course discussion 2. In the discussions, it only looks like there's 2 of you guys in the class, so I will just have to periodically just ask questions maybe so we can, meet the attendance requirements. And of course, view the seminar and complete the assessment, and then complete the LP1 quiz. So on this big assignment that you guys have that's going to last throughout the course, this portion of it will be the introduction. So you will complete the introduction. You'll describe the company you've chosen to research and why you chose the company. What have you already learned about the organization? And this section of the paper should only be about a page long with sources cited in APA format. Then you'll want to read the organizational behavior final paper outline for additional instructions. And then, of course, you'll submit the assignments via Dropbox, and it's worth 100 points. And make sure you guys check out the LP1 assignment rubric because that's what I grade by. Okay, and just here's some tips. Make sure you guys read all the requirements for the course. Submit assignments on time, and feel free to reach out if you need help. Make sure you cite sources and study the APA. Make sure all papers are in APA proper format, and only submit the certification of authorship once. So anyway, guys, I will be in the next day or 2 studying up and trying to get access to my textbook, and we will do another seminar. I wish you both good luck. I look forward to working with you, and if you need me, do not hesitate to call. I have my cell phone with me all the time, and as you know, I live in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and we've kind of got a little hurricane scare going on right now. So, and that would explain my country accent. But anyway, take care, guys. If you need me, just reach out.